Okay, season 3, episode 1. This was cool. Everyone got back and they had all beards on. That was cool. Howard, I think, even keeps his beard, doesn't he? Or no, his mustache. So that was pretty cool. You get to see Sheldon's mother again. The first time in like 2 seasons. Her first appearance is in season 1, episode 4, and now she reappears here in season 3, episode 1. So Leonard and Penny finally get together. Yeah, I mean, it's been building up since season 1, episode 1, so it's great that it finally happened. But this episode was just great, okay? Yeah, this is definitely one of the best of season 3. Okay, of course, Leonard and Penny get together, and Leonard could just not catch a break in this episode. Got to see Mary's house and in Texas and all that. It was pretty fun. And the joke about that night where the power went out in the North Pole. Yeah, we do definitely not want to talk about that, do we?
Remember the first.
And then it makes sense that Shelton and drove literally everyone nuts while at the North Pole, and they all wanted to do something about it, and then he get like kind of ruined his experiment and all that. And Sheldon he's very very angry, and yeah, the guy is kind of messed up. But yeah, I do kind of wish there was more of a thing to get Sheldon back with the guys instead of Mary and Sheldon kind of having like a little bit of a disagreement. It wasn't even a fight; they were just disagreeing about evolution. I mean, like, it was such a small thing that made Sheldon go back. They obviously had this kind of disagreement before, okay, and that's just what makes Sheldon leave. It just kind of feels so annoying. It kind of feels like the episode was rushed at the end. It really does feel like that. And yeah, and that's definitely my least favorite part about the episode. Season 2, episode 2. Apparently, Leonard and Penny's sexual intercourse wasn't very satisfactory. Okay, yeah, and then Sheldon basically says that out loud in front of Penny. And yeah, he does actually realize what he's done a few minutes later in the episode, which, that's cool, Sheldon. You actually realize that you have done something wrong, okay? I guess he's developing.
Is not present.
So I guess you would call that the main plot where Leonard and Penny are trying to figure out why their sexual intercourse wasn't satisfactory. That sounds so weird. But my favorite part about the episode is the Sheldon, Howard, and Ross plot where they're trying to figure out that cricket noise. I mean, I just like that part about the episode. Okay, it's a bet against Howard and Sheldon, and Raj is there along there for the ride, like he is every episode. He's just there. He's just the Indian guy that's just tagging along. Yeah, they're trying to look for the cricket to see what kind of type of cricket it is, and it goes everywhere around the building and stuff into the elevator. And stuff. I don't know. It was fun. Okay, shut up. Season 3, episode 3. Sheldon is able to handle Penny by giving her chocolates whenever she impresses him, and Leonard gets annoyed. But I don't really know why he gets annoyed in this episode. I mean, Sheldon finds a way of handling Penny, but Leonard, he just doesn't appreciate that. I don't know really what's so bad about this. I kind of feel like Leonard's just whining for no reason, just for conflict's sake. And the subplot is Howard and Raj go to a goth bar and pick up some chicks, and yeah, that goes well until it doesn't, and they're in the middle of getting tattoos. Well, Howard is in the middle of getting a tattoo, and then yeah, he says no, and then the goth girls leave. So yeah, that's great. Kind of just feels weird though. I like the ending though, when they're trying to figure out what they're gonna tell people. That was fun, and that plot was a bit better than the main one. But yeah. But yeah, this episode was alright. Season 3, episode 4 has Raj and Sheldon working together, which is cool. And it's fun to see them interacting with each other and them arguing, especially when they have that fight and Raj does that thing with his hands that Sheldon can't do. That was really funny. Yeah, I just thought that it was a fun episode. The thing that is the worst about this episode, though, is the subplot with Howard kind of annoying Leonard and Penny. That seems like such like a modern Big Bang plot, kind of like Raj annoying Bernadette and Howard. It just kind of feels weird having that kind of thing in season three. Of course, and it guess with Howard, but whatever. I definitely rather than Raj and Sheldon plot in this episode. It was really fun, and yeah. So yeah, Penny and or Leonard and Howard kind of the deal that when either of them had to get a girlfriend, that they get their girlfriend to set the a friend up with another girl. Yeah, I hope I explained that properly. And yeah, since Leonard got Penny, Penny has to set up Howard with one of her friends. And yeah, Penny was not happy about that because Howard is a creep. Um, of course, I'll be going into this later on in the show. But I really love Howard's transformation in this show, and it does fully begin with this episode. He goes from the creep that he is in the earlier seasons to, a good husband and a father later on in the series. He's not really, well, I mean, he's not the best of husband or the best of fathers, but he's better than he was at the beginning of the show, definitely. Bernadette is different than she is later on in the show. She is not as high pitched as she is later on, and she really doesn't like that much stuff, does she? Though I do like how they bond over their mothers. That was kind of strange, but I think it was funny. And this episode wasn't the introduction to just one character. Will Wheaton was also introduced, and he plays Wesley Crusher in Star Trek. Yeah, I haven't watched Star Trek. Of what I've seen from it in this in the Big Bang Theory universe, it looks really boring and stuff, and there's a lot of references to this show, so it's kind of annoying not having seen it. But I mean, I think I love the Will Wheaton and Sheldon rivalry in the earlier seasons, and I really wish they didn't abandon that in season 5. But whatever, I really liked it in this episode how Will Wheaton tricks Sheldon, because I actually did think at first that his grandmother had died, and Sheldon actually feels sorry for Will. Okay, he feels empathy. This is one of those rare instances in the earlier seasons where Sheldon actually acts like a human, and it's confirmation that Sheldon is not a robot. Also, Stewart is in this episode. I mean, he doesn't really do much, but that's great. And I love how Raj doesn't really fall for Will's tricks, and yeah, they go into depression after they lose. No, they don't. I don't know why I said that. Both of these plots are really funny and really good and great starts to stories. And if this episode didn't exist, then we wouldn't even have Bernadette. So yeah, I mean, obviously this episode is pretty important, and I don't really know which one I like better because I like both episodes or both plots really good. Season 3, episode 6. It's a bit weird in this episode how Howard is going after girls and Raj gets annoyed. I mean, like, this wouldn't be weird if it was any episode before the last one because Howard was set up with a date with Bernadette, and I mean, that kind of continues, and maybe this episode takes place before the last one. I don't know. This isn't really a big issue, but it's just kind of strange. Yeah, but I think it's pretty funny though. Yeah. I love getting to see more Raj and Howard. They weren't really focused on much in season 1, but in season 2 and 3 they really are. We are going to see more of their friendship. I definitely do rather the other plot though. I think it's really funny how Leonard was watching football with all of Penny's boyfriends, and how Leonard actually gets really into it and stuff, and he kind of makes stupid, silly mistakes as well. I think it's actually a pretty funny plot. And he's acting all scientific about it and stuff. And it's one of those episodes where you realize that Leonard's pretty weird. Like, you don't notice it when he's kind of paired with Sheldon, because anyone who's paired with Sheldon looks like like the most normal person in the world. But when he's stacked up against like more normal people than him, he's just weird. Okay, I know that could be said for anyone, but really, Leonard is weird. Season 3, episode 7 is definitely not the best that season 3 has to offer, but it's still pretty good. We do get to see a little bit of Sheldon's past. We do know that his parents were fighting a lot. And of course, this is definitely going to get started in young Sheldon right now. As time we making this video, we're at the end of season 5. So yeah, and of course, there was a lot of fighting in the end of season 4, but we haven't seen that much recently in the show. But I bet there's going to be a lot of fighting in like season 6 onwards. So it kind of sounds like Sheldon has like PTSD for that kind of stuff. And of course, since Sheldon is scared of Leonard at this point, he basically has to go annoy his other friends, Raj and Howard. And he does that. Not really to talk about there. They eventually do resolve things though at the comic book store. Yeah. And they basically treat Sheldon like a kid there at the end, though it was kind of a bit insulting. I mean, like, they really had to treat him like a kid. I didn't really see that coming, but it was kind of funny though. So Penny slips in the shower, and Sheldon has to bring her to the hospital in season 3, episode 8. Sheldon acts very annoying in this episode, but I actually find it funny. You know, Sheldon is doing a good deed. Doesn't always do that. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, Penny is annoyed and she's in pain, and yeah, that kind of stuff. I do love the joke about Sheldon's knocking. That was fun, and Sheldon driving. This whole plot was just a lot of fun. It did get a bit weird when Sheldon had to dress Penny up in clothes. Yeah, that part was weird, but moving on to the second plot. So the other plot has not really much of a story. Leonard, Raj, and Howard all sit around waiting for the meteor shower to start, and that's kind of it. And they go crazy because they run out of food and stuff like that. Yeah, and then they end up missing the meteor shower, so it was all for nothing. Yeah, let's go. I love it. Yeah, worthless content. We learn that Leonard hates his name, and we learn that Raj thinks the American accent is funny, and we learn that Howard lost his virginity to his second cousin. Fun stuff. Both plots are good, but I think the other plot is a little bit better. This plot is definitely more probably. I mean, it isn't nearly more funny, but like the other plot is also a little bit more funny, and has more of a story to it. Season 3, episode 9. Bernadette is back after like 4 episodes, and she wants to know if Howard's interested in a one-night stand or an actual relationship. And yeah, I think this is the first episode where Bernadette has her name revealed, because I don't think her name is mentioned in their first appearance, which is a bit weird. And this is the first episode of 2 episodes in the series where Howard has fantasies of him and another woman. I forgot her name. And yeah, I mean, he should be out with Bernadette, but no, he's having fantasies about other girls. Yeah, I mean, like, come on, Howard, it's Bernadette right there. Okay, like she's the first woman who like acknowledges your existence aside from Penny. But Howard takes it too far and proposes to her. Yeah, okay. That's a little too far. And also a joke here is that Bernadette doesn't really understand any of Howard's jokes and stuff, which is kind of funny. Sometimes, I mean, this is done a lot more in the earlier seasons. I guess she gets to understand Howard's comedy over time. Because I kind of forgot. I'm more used to modern Bernadette. Like season 5 onwards. She understands Howard's comedy a lot more. But it's interesting to see these episodes where Howard and Bernadette were just starting their relationship. And the side plot is that Sheldon was doing a prank on the radio, not doing a prank, but Sheldon was doing something on the radio, and someone was interviewing him, and Barry Kripke put some helium in the room. So yeah, that was pretty funny. And then he gets a prank that gets back at Kripke. Yeah, I mean, you just saw on the screen. That's how he does it. And yeah. He did not expect for the board of directors to be in the room with Barry. So that was great. I think it was really funny how Sheldon has this video set up to tell Barry that it was him, and he credited Raj and Leonard as well for helping him out with the prank. I thought that was really, really funny, and the whole thing was actually pretty hilarious. I do rather the other plot because I don't know, just do this. This is just a kind of a plot just for laughs. But the other plot has meaning for the rest of the series. Okay, it matters. This one doesn't matter. If this didn't happen in the series, I really wouldn't have lost anything. Season 3, episode 10. Now that Bernadette is dating Howard fully. I guess she's going to be in like the group now and everything. She comes over, and the whole spot thing is repeated again, and Penny explains it very thoroughly. And the face she makes afterwards, just I don't know, man. I know it was just makes me laugh. It was funny, and so yeah. Uh, and Howard, of course, with this new relationship, has to mess things up because that's just what these people in this show really seem to be good at doing. So Howard and Bernadette kind of have their first fight because Bernadette wants to go to Leonard's experiment. I don't really know what the big deal is. I mean, it's just an experiment, man. Come on, Howard, calm down. I know there's loads of different people out there, but like whatever. Leonard only has like a girlfriend, and yeah, whatever. I mean, this plot is fine, but I definitely do rather the other one. Sheldon teaches Penny physics because Penny wants to impress Leonard. Yeah, and that doesn't really go very well. I think this plot is really, really funny. I like how this one plot, the more then this one part of the story that's more has a plot, but then there's one part, another part of the story that it's kind of more funny, just comedy based. Yeah, because this is really funny. I think. And Sheldon almost restarting it all the time at the same point, and I just think it was really funny. It's not really much to talk about in these ones. Season 2, episode 11. Leonard's mother comes at Christmas. So yeah, this doesn't really feel like a Christmas episode though, for reasons. There's a Christmas tree in the background. Yay. It appears that Leonard's mother didn't tell. It hasn't been to. Oh my god, what? It appears Leonard's mother has not been telling Leonard like anything in the light in her life, like including his dog dying, back at home, her divorcing his father. A lot of that kind of stuff, and she's been telling Sheldon a lot of that stuff because both of them are close, and yeah. But I do love the part where Beverly, I guess I'm gonna call her Beverly and Penny go out drinking. That was really fun. Yeah, and also Leonard didn't tell Beverly that he was dating Penny because I don't know, he was embarrassed because reasons. It seems like they're gonna have a more intimate relationship. But that doesn't really last very long. And here comes the part of the episode that it kind of weirds me out. Oh, okay, yeah. This is a pretty awkward car ride. Yeah, I don't really know if I like this. It was just Kiss has been never mentioned in the show again. And I'm kind of glad it stays that way. It's a bit weird and a bit awkward. But yeah, I guess Beverly and Leonard don't proceed with their more intimate relationship. So, season 3, episode 12. Apparently, Penny believes in psychics, and that makes Leonard really laugh. That laughs really hard. I don't even understand why he laughs as hard out as he does. Um, yeah, okay, that was very annoying. And he's definitely the most obnoxious person in the date. And yeah. And Howard and Bernadette are there to experience the whole thing. Oh yeah, what fun! The favorite part about the episode was that when the waiter said, "How is everything going?" and Bernadette said, "Extremely awkward." Or no, it was very uncomfortable. They eventually get over this, but I don't really know what the whole panic was over. I mean, sure, if I was dating someone who believed in sidekicks, I'd say, okay, I don't really give a crap, and that would just be the end of it. It doesn't really matter to me, but whatever. I guess it matters to these characters because I don't know, entertainment. Okay, so the second plot here kind of teases how Roger's going to be later on in the series, pathetic and lonely. So yeah, I mean Raj or Leonard and Howard have girlfriends, but Raj and Sheldon don't. And most of the series, it's just Raj on his own, and Sheldon, Leonard, and Howard all have girlfriends. But I guess Sheldon is there single here as well because Amy has not been introduced yet. So yeah, I mean they go in and get these two girls, Abby and Martha, and I mean, it goes well for Raj, but it is really funny with Sheldon. Um, that he says time for bed and all that. And Martha wants to, do that kind of stuff as well. And she gets let down. I thought that was really funny.
But yeah, this part was pretty fine. I liked when Leonard came home and he saw them all singing together. That was really funny. This is a good episode. These characters are never mentioned again. I get why Martha wasn't in any other episodes, but why not Abby be another episode? Okay, I'd like to see Raj having a relationship in season 3. It would be nice to see how that goes, but no.
Season 3, episode 11. I think, no, I know, no. Season 3, episode 13. Some burglars rob the house, or the apartment, and all hell breaks loose as Sheldon's worried that they're gonna come back and rob more of his things. This one's good. Not the best of the season, but I do like when he climbs out his window to try to get into Leonard's room. I think that was really funny. And the security system, that was really fun as well. Especially when Sheldon got electrified and stuff. That was really, really funny. Not much I really have to say in this episode, to be honest. Season 3, episode 14 is one of the best ones of the season. I love how Sheldon goes absolutely crazy in this episode. Like, just look at him, he's crazy and starts picking at everyone else's food in the cafeteria. And yeah, he puts loads of marbles on the floor, and Leonard and Penny slip on them when they get back from going to the roller rink. That was really embarrassing. And you have a scene where Bernadette tells Sheldon about to go to bed and stuff, and actually be like a good parent figure, I guess, in this situation. I think it's like one of the first times Bernadette and Sheldon have really interacted. Even this is actually the last appearance of Bernadette in this season before her and Howard break up, and then they do get it back together in season 4. It's interesting because Bernadette in season 5 says that she doesn't want to have children. Interesting. And she gets angry at children in season 5. Interesting. Kind of bad continuity, but whatever. But we all know Sheldon in the ball pit. That was really funny, and Bazinga. I'd just look at them go. Also loved Sheldon working at the Cheesecake Factory. That was really fun and everything. And then, I forget the reasons why he was going there or whatever. He was supposed to figure out his experiment. And yeah, and I love when everyone clapped when he dropped everything. I think that was really funny. And then he just kind of left. That was great. So for season 3, episode 15, Leonard is bringing Penny all the way to Switzerland, but Sheldon doesn't like that because there's a Hadron Collider or something there that he really wants to go to. And yeah, Sheldon's very, very obnoxious in this episode, a lot more than usual. And though I think it's funny in a lot of areas, although in this episode it just kind of gets a little bit annoying because Leonard just really wants to bring Penny to Switzerland, as I said. And, Leonard has got Penny and a girlfriend. He's been waiting to do that for years, even longer than Sheldon's been waiting to go to the Collider. And it is just his decision. And, instead of sucking it up, Sheldon goes to extreme lengths to try to get him to go on the bloody trip. And in the end, they both get sick. And I do like how Sheldon hugged Penny, so that's why he got sick. I thought that was a nice detail. Yeah, I think that was nice. Second time in the series, I think, that Sheldon's sick. I mean, he's getting more sick than me. I mean, I barely ever get sick. Suck at Sheldon. And then, at the end, he ends up bringing Raj. I think that was really funny. And how he said he will never forget that moment. It's a bit gay, but okay. So, remember back when Penny broke her shoulder or something, slipped in the shower, that Sheldon had to bring her to the hospital. Well, when Sheldon was driving there, he was speeding, and yeah, now he has to go to court for it. And I love the part where Sheldon gives Penny a speech. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, this episode was good, especially because the days lined up, and the day he's supposed to go to the court is the day that Stan Lee is supposed to be at the comic book store. Suck it, Sheldon. I actually can't think it was a really smart idea to have Stan Lee sign a Batman comic. I mean, it's going to be a unique copy, and no one else is going to own it. And Sheldon acts rude to the judge because, how else is he supposed to act? He's Sheldon Cooper. And the only reason he wants to get out of jail and apologize to the judge is because he doesn't want to go to the toilet in hell. Yeah, it was really fun seeing Sheldon in jail. I don't really remember much from the other guys in the story, but I mean, it was fun. So yeah, this is a strange one. And Penny really gets let down in this one when
The boys, the boys bring back a bunch of weird action figures instead of dinner. Yeah, this all happens in season 3, episode 17. Yeah, 17. This is so fun. It kind of feels like a last two challenge. You know those that were popular like 3 or 4 years ago. Of course, this was made long before that was even thought up of, really. So it's kind of original, and it's pretty fun, to be honest. And yeah, Leonard gets out pretty early, but then it's Leonard it's Howard, Raj, and Sheldon talking about their mothers and grandmothers and stuff. Yeah, they're fighting over who gets the ring and stuff, and I like how when Sheldon's trying to steal it from Leonard, how Penny punches him in the face. Oh, that was pretty funny. And how Raj hugs Howard. Okay, that's weird. It's gay. And at the end, when Sheldon thinks he's won it and all that, and then he washes it, and then he's turning into whatever person that is. I don't know. I don't watch Lord of the Rings, but I still like the episode though. And then the end where Sheldon and Leonard fight for the ring. That was pretty funny as well. This is just one of the funniest episodes of the show, and I think you can agree with me. I think season 3, episode 18 is a pretty boring episode. Yeah, I mean, I like Sheldon's speech and all that. It was pretty funny. I mean, towards the end of the episode, yeah. But other than that, the first half of this episode is pretty boring. I just didn't really enjoy it. I do like how the only person who did not help out Sheldon was Howard, because he's just trying to act like he gives a damn. I thought that was funny, but the ways they help Sheldon isn't really that good. And compared to other episodes, it's just one of the ones I don't really care about. Though I guess I do like how Sheldon ended up being Leonard's therapist in the end, but the ways Penny and Raj helped out Sheldon this time wasn't really exciting me. Really, it wasn't really that funny. It was probably one of the least funniest episodes of the show. But I guess the ending is funny. It's just it's just since the first half isn't funny, it's not really that great. It's kind of a generic story, and I'm not really the biggest fan of it. And yeah, this episode has 2 points where Leonard kind of derails. He ends up he's supposed to be Sheldon's therapist, but then yeah, that doesn't really work out. And he was giving a speech before Sheldon, and that kind of derailed a bit. Though Sheldon's speech again was pretty funny. And he woke up and saw his speech on YouTube the following day. That must have been great. So, season 3, episode 19. I bet you're all really excited to hear my thoughts on this episode. Probably one of the most important episodes of the entire show. The most important episode in a while. Leonard and Penny officially break up in this episode, which is pretty sad. After Leonard said "I love you" in bed. This is the one of 2 times where Leonard makes a very, very questionable decision in bed. Yeah, so this challenges the relationship and leads them to fight and all that and stuff. It was right after Penny quoted Yoda as well. Oh man, I like Penny's face when she turns over and has those big eyes and all that. And Leonard and Raj and Howard trying to figure out what's going on and all that. That's fun. And that's always fun. And Willie Wheaton is back in this episode. I liked him in the previous one, and I like him here. I like how Leonard calls his, or Sheldon called. What's up? Can I get the names right, man? Like how Sheldon calls his team the Wesley Crushers, and Willie Wheaton thinks he's calling his team after them. That was fun. And all the stuff with the bowling was pretty cool, and how Sheldon was trying to come up with jokes to insult Will Wheaton's mother and that stuff. Yeah, strange. Stewart is again in this episode, and he's in it. He really doesn't do much when he talks to Penny. Yeah. Also, Will Wheaton kind of breaks up Leonard and Penny, and that was a pretty fun scene, especially when Will Wheaton does say, "Sheldon, I think I would just break up a couple just to win a bowling match," and Sheldon says, "Yeah, that's going a bit too far." And Will Wheaton says, "Keep thinking that." And I think it was really funny. Will Wheaton is just, I think he plays a very good villain character, and they do kind of ruin that a bit in the later seasons, but whatever, we'll get to that in the later seasons. He literally breaks up Leonard and Penny. Okay, like what? That was insane. And yeah, I mean Sheldon is upset because he doesn't win the bowling match and beat Will Wheaton. Yeah, the only reason. So overall, this is a pretty good episode, and yeah, and Leonard and Penny officially breaking up. Yeah, yeah. So the first episode, after Leonard and Penny break up, season 3, episode 20. Yeah. This is pretty funny, especially when Sheldon's trying to hide that he has hot dogs in his pants and all that. He has to hide it from Leonard, and the gang, and it's really funny when Sheldon tries to make up a lie, and also he got chased by dogs. That's always fun, and just awkward when he was walking down the stairs with Howard and stuff, and that was pretty funny. And again, I think that I don't know if this is the first episode that reveals that Sheldon's favorite dinner is spaghetti with hot dogs cut up in it. I mean, it could be, but I'm just saying right now that that's a pretty weird meal. But I actually do want to have it. That doesn't sound that bad. I find it strange that they have custody issues, like they're a divorced couple, but I still think it's pretty funny. When Sheldon goes to Disneyland and stuff, and they're kind of arguing like they're a divorced couple and all that. I think that was pretty funny, and this episode is pretty good. Season 3, episode 21 has a guest star right here. I don't know the actor's name, but she's plays Dr. Plimpton, and it shows that Leonard's just able to move away from Penny pretty quickly. Yeah, I got Dr. Plimpton kind of confused with Dr. Stephanie Burnett, who was in season 2, and I forgot she actually existed in the one in season 2. But yeah, but I remembered her, of course, because of the ending scene. I don't want to go into depth in what she wants to do here, because I like to keep this channel family friendly for all ages. But yeah, I mean, this episode is fun. I like Dr. Plimpton at the beginning. It's kind of a plot twist what happens at the end. She's a bit of a weirdo. I mean, I like how she what she's whatever she's. I mean, you know what? I'm really struggling to think of stuff to say here. I think this episode is funny. I don't want to describe what goes on in it, whatever, and moving on. So, season 3, episode 22, a lot of people's favorite episode of the show, probably, and one of the most memorable ones, showing the backstory of Leonard and Sheldon and how they meet. Not their backstory, really. I mean, it's how they meet, not their backstory. And I mean, Sheldon is Sheldon's backstory, and Leonard doesn't have a backstory yet. Blah, blah, blah. This is great. So Leonard's telling Penny all of this stuff, and it's kind of strange because they don't even mention that they're broken up in this episode. I mean, it just happened a few episodes ago. It would make sense for them to mention it, but whatever. I like how Leonard has a long hair and Sheldon's literally the same because he never changes. I mean, like, it makes sense in like a really simplistic way. Sheldon has the place set up and all that. It was really fun. We get to see how the roommate agreement was formed. Oh yeah, the glorious roommate agreement. Oh wow. We even get to see Howard and Raj, and they look really ridiculous, even more ridiculous than they usually do. Raj in his pink outfit, really, really strange. This was just a really fun episode. Honestly. And we also get to see how the elevator broke and everything, and Sheldon basically saved Leonard's life. That was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome, to be honest. It's fun to see the elevator working. This is one of 2 episodes, or no, one of 3 episodes that we see the elevator working, and the other 2 are the last 2 episodes of the show. Yes, overall, a really great episode. Okay, let's go. Season 3, episode 23, the season finale, the last episode of episode 3. That's what a season finale means. Just like season 3, episode 5, this episode introduces 2 new characters. And actually, just like season 3, episode 5, one of them is a future female main character, and another is a male character who will play a role of a recurring character. Yeah. I actually kind of like that both episodes that introduces Amy and Bernadette, how they both have other characters introduced in them as well. They both have like a similar amount of episodes. But Wheaton and Zach kind of have like 15 episodes roughly in the show each, I think. So that's pretty cool. I do like kind of how comedically stupid Zach is in this episode. And he does return later. He has like 3 episodes in season 4, and I do like him in season 4, episode 11. We'll get to that in season 4, guys. Come on, wait. Like, Zach thinks you're gonna blow up the moon. But yeah, Leonard goes through some stuff, okay? Because Penny gets drunk and sleeps with Leonard again, and he goes through this whole arc, and you can see that he really wants Penny back, okay? He thought he got over it, but he hasn't gotten over it yet. It was kind of strange to me how they broke up like 4 episodes before the season ended. I thought they would like break up like at the season finale if they were going to break up in season 3, but no, I guess so. Also, Leslie Winkler returns to this episode. I guess she hasn't appeared since I think mid season 2 when she started dating Howard. So yeah, she was. I think she was the main character in season 2, but then she got dropped for season 3. But she's returning here in this episode. Leonard tries to get back together with her. I don't know, to prove something to himself that he could do it. I don't know, just because he's angry and stuff, and he's not really doing it for love at all. But it's cool to see Leslie Black. We don't see her again until season 9, so yeah, that's gonna be in a long time. It's probably gonna be another like a year until I cover that season, or even longer. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see her back, and she slammed the door in Leonard's face. Wow. Okay, so okay, so of course the moment you've been waiting for, I'm going to be talking about the scene where Sheldon and Amy meet. Of course, these are actually going to get married and stuff, and yeah, blah 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 blah. But this is where they first meet, and it was pretty cool. We don't get to see much of Amy until the next episode, in season 4, episode 1, and it really isn't that much I can talk about. But they immediately kind of hit it off a little bit, and I kind of like how Raj and Howard were trying to get them together and sign Sheldon into a dating profile site. It was pretty cool, and yeah, that is the end of the season. Oh wow, that was a good season, guys. Wow. Okay, so that's the end of the season. Season 3 feels like season 2, but Leonard and Penny are dating, and it's a lot better. Season 2, I'm going to be comparing this season to the other episodes, the other 2 seasons if you're going to be curious. Season 2 kind of had really funny episodes, but some of them just really weren't that great. But yeah, it had some bangers. But this has a lot of bangers and a few that aren't the best, but a lot of them just kind of are mediocre if they're not great. And some of them are really funny, like Top Notch, like the Ring one, and you have Leonard and Betty dating here, which is also really fun. You have them breaking up, and you have the 2 Will Wheaton episodes. That's great as well. We also have 2 main characters introduced, Bernadette and Amy, and both of them in their episodes when they're introduced also have another character introduced, another male character that like have a recurring character and appear for like around 15 episodes each. They're kind of weird how that works out. Yeah, this season is really good. There's a lot of great episodes. Also see how Leonard and Sheldon meet, and how Sheldon meets Howard and Raj, and how the elevator gets broken and all that, and that's really funny. So it's just one of the best seasons of the show, I guess. Spoilers for when I could rank the seasons. Actually, I've ranked the season. I don't know. Whatever. I don't even know if that's accurate anymore. Probably is, but I don't even remember that being a very good video. Whatever, guys. This was me trying to get back into videos that were not Lego Star Wars, because after Lego Star Wars came out, I kind of, started making Lego Star Wars videos, and haven't really stopped. There's a lot of videos I wanted to make with that game, and I'm not finished with those. I've still got a good amount to do, but going into May, I want to go back into my regular content, and by June, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna make less and less Lego Star Wars videos, but I'm still gonna make them because I love that game so much. So this is the second non-Lego Star Wars video since the game came out. The first being the video I made 2 days ago. What if a 10-year-old directed Attack of the Clones Part 3? That was a good one. I came out for May the 4th, and it was like 25 minutes. Wow, it's longer than I usually make them. Please go watch that. I put a lot of work into those videos. Next, I want to do Young Sheldon season 1 for season 5 finishing. I want to do that. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be next. And after that, I'll probably do season 4 and 5 of Big Bang, and maybe then season 2 of Young Sheldon. I don't know how I'll do it, but I mean, you can expect for the rest of the year probably maybe, I think I might want to make one retrospective of either Big Bang or Young Sheldon a month for the rest of the year. I'm gonna try to do that. Whatever, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I put a good amount of work into these. Anyway, see you next time, guys. Goodbye.